had something show up in your house and you just don't know how it got there? Today's video is this your shirt and how did it get here? Anyone? Several months ago, this t-shirt appeared in my clothes. It's a man's t-shirt, size large, and it shows some signs of use, especially in the armpit area. Ew, right? It's gross and intriguing at the same time. I know what you're thinking right now. Brigitte, shame on you. You've got men, half naked without shirts on, running around at your place willy-nilly, and you can't even keep track of whose shirt is whose. But that's not what happened. It really just showed up. Actually, it would be really funny to have like a shirtless man run by in the background right now, like for the irony. But I just don't have any. It just showed up one day in a pile of clothes. And so I washed it and put it back with the rest of my clothes. Possible ways it could have gotten here include: when I moved in, I got my bed for free from some friends. Maybe the t-shirt was in there and over time the bed kind of exuded it. Or maybe some guy breaks into my house and sleeps here and sweats when I'm not home. Or more likely, it was like stuck to the inside ceiling of the dryer in the laundry room that I share and I didn't notice it. But I always look there. And even if I was sure that it was from the laundry room, you can't like reintroduce it months later. It'd be like reintroducing a wild puma raised in captivity to its parents years later. They wouldn't recognize it, which would make me just some girl that left behind some large kind of pit-stained man t-shirt in the laundry room. I don't want to be that girl. So the shirt is my problem now. And it's harder than you would think to take on the responsibility of an orphaned, gross man shirt. A friend comes to stay with me and visit and wants to borrow a t-shirt to sleep in. Looking through the t-shirt section of my closet, she's like, "Ooh, Brigitte, whose was this?" Of course she doesn't believe me. Why would I have a pit-stained t-shirt in my closet and not know where it came from? It became a whole discussion about how we don't talk like we used to, which reminded me of this other time I should have thrown an item of clothing out and I didn't, and it only led to trouble. Have you ever had a cheap tube sock? The kind where you wash it a few times and it loses all its elasticity and it just becomes a huge tube, more than a huge tube sock. I had a pair of those, and times were hard and I couldn't afford new socks, so I just kept wearing the big tubes as socks. One night I had a basket of clean laundry sitting out when this guy I was dating came over to pick me up. On top of the basket of laundry were the tubes. He kind of freaked out about them. I can still see him standing there holding up this sock like the size of his thigh saying, "Brigitte, these are not your socks. Just tell me whose socks these are." And I was like, "It's mine. It's just really old." And they were so huge. They were like Paul Bunyan socks at that point. But that sock really was mine. It was just really stretched out and huge and gross. And this week's green tip from idealbite.com is about phone books. Well, phone books. Are you still getting those fat paper phone books dropped off at your place? That's a lot of paper. And I don't even want one phone book. I just look up numbers online now. Sure, you can recycle it rather than just throw it away, but that's still a waste. Well, did you know that there are websites where you can register to not receive any paper phone books at all anymore? Check out yellowpagesgoesgreen.org. Have a wonderful holiday weekend and be safe, and I'll see you next week.